Good, let's go. Let's get to it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Numbcast.
Yes, sir.
As always, Neptune down the middle. Big man Fibs to my right. Birthday boy New Slave to the right of me.
Hey!
Hey.
Cute man, cute. Happy
And
birthday,
Bukes to
sir.
the left.
Hello.
Oh. So today, guys, we've got a very special episode. It's based on men and mental health. We're calling it Man Up. And our society has hindered man's growth. You want to shoot? Who's ready to shoot? Should I just go?
That's a big topic, obviously. So we did our research.
Yeah.
We want to trade too carefully because obviously we don't want to be like on the fence because the progress is where we need to get to here and really get to the answers and the problems. And we might offend. Okay, I might offend. I don't know. I'll say that. But we're gonna have some big statements in here, and I feel like it's gonna be a good one. Let's get into it.
That's also why it's such an important thing because people are afraid to speak about it.
The conversation must happen.
Definitely.
And like me myself, like I also don't like what do I say about it? I'm not like an expert on the matter.
Yeah.
And actually, that we can even say that's an aspect of how we've been hindered as men. Because
Exactly.
now we can't even talk about our issues.
Yeah, and we feel like we need to be experts to
to
say something that we all feel, the common man.
And we all got nervous when you said feelings. You're like,
It's like the
What are those?
starting, yeah. But just for context, there's over 700,000 deaths by suicide, right? That's in the world, age 15 to 29.
Is that yearly?
Yeah, yearly. 68% of them are men. So clearly there's a problem. Clearly
Would
something's wrong.
anyone think they're not killing themselves like proportionately more than females?
Would anyone?
nobody.
Yeah.
Guess that. off the
Would
top.
anyone even dig deeper? Just to
Nah.
ask. To think why? What's going on?
I know one thing. This is for my little 10-year on TikTok for the last week. Just going through all the things. Hey, TikTok's a bomb. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got hooked on it. Not bad. But like I saw a nice little video today where this guy was basically talking about how, in terms of like the dating sphere, and how men generally have to prove themselves to women, and if they don't feel like sorted in what they have, if they don't feel comfortable in what they have, and they can't prove themselves, and they feel inadequate, and that leads to a deep, deep state of loneliness and fear that they'll never ever find a significant other. And that obviously has a deep, deep slate now into depression.
Yeah.
Now that's one thing a lot of men can relate to. When you always want to talk to a female like in the past, whatever, and you thought to yourself like, shit, I can't approach this woman because I don't have whatever, because I can't prove myself.
Yeah, it's not secure enough.
Yeah, you're not secure enough. That leads you in a deep, deep patch of shit.
That spiral, that spiral because now
Those stats can be like you can 100% relate to it because how many people do you know that kill themselves and how many of those are men? Like I only know guys.
Like when you
From school, I don't.
That's
I,
actually
like
I've
no
never
one
actually thought about that before.
It's
in my life.
crazy, yeah.
Personally, how many men you know that you know what I'm saying?
No, like
Guys
what
my
you said
age.
now in terms of people that have committed suicide. How many of them are female? How many of them are males?
That you know personally.
Yeah, it's only males.
Yeah. But I mean, it boils down to society, No man feels comfortable speaking or showing their feelings. Or even shedding a tear, bro. That's where the statement man up comes in. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling low, you will always get that statement or you will always just
don't
think,
cry.
you're man, you're stronger, be better. But sometimes you can't always be better. But if you're going to keep it in, you're going to crack at one point and that would, I think, lead to the suicide. That leads to the depression.
The reason why you keep it in is you don't know who to tell, man. Like, just like,
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up
That's the big thing.
in the neighborhood of the boys, man.
Yeah.
Certain people have said things in confidence to other people.
Yeah.
And then you go home, and then the next day you come back, and everyone knows
It's
how
world news. You know what I'm saying?
Then that's when I'm never ever
Telling anyone
anything.
anything,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From when you fucking young, man.
Yeah, that's like
Right, and
what's
that's
groomed.
and you can't forget that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That itself is traumatic, bro, because like you said, you basically making yourself vulnerable
And then you
and
score.
trusting people around you. Then when that happens,
That's like
it's literally a traumatic event. Now it's like, yo.
But I think that's engraved by what society portrays as what a man should be. So then other men, that's all they know. Like, you're not supposed to be like this. We know females can be emotional. That's why it's fine to us. But they've shown us movies, whatever, music. This is what a man is. You must provide, or else you basically rendered useless, you know? So that's how it makes it.
That word there, conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, when you think of, like, obviously the men or now, obviously, we've all seen men making bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you think of the men you have, they usually, like, say, like in their 50s and their 60s, some of those guys are so deep in running away from their problems and never ever speaking about their problems that the moment you even utter anything that could relate to what they have gone through, it's like they're blocked off, completely blocked off. And they almost, like, if they start talking about things now, if they start opening up, I genuinely feel that sometimes a lot of these men will shatter.
Yeah.
They'll break from the inside in, right?
Especially considering the time that they come from.
Yeah.
And because obviously boiling out, you know, boiling over.
Yeah, things have obviously slowly, but they've progressed and gotten a bit better as time has gone on. But back in the day, like maybe 30 years ago and beyond, they literally had to be the rock of society.
Yeah, basically carry it, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, with seeking help as well and talking, there's stigmas around that too. You know, it's not an okay thing to go and see a therapist, to go and speak to someone. We still feel like
if you go to a mental health clinic,
something's wrong with
the malaise. Going to the malaise, man.
Yeah.
Here's a question though, like, for those, say, obviously there are the more extreme cases, the ones that need serious help. But for just say the average guy.
Yeah.
Like us sitting over here, we go through our moments, and we have moments of pain, sadness, and heartache, and obviously want to speak. What would be like the best solution to go forward?
What I would say is the way we view therapy. I don't think it needs to be an extreme case to go through it. I've done it. I'll say it. I've done it just to go and have some conversation. It's not something like, oh, you are deeply depressed or sad, and maybe you are. You never know. Maybe you go through that session and you get to the root of it. But you can just go and have a conversation. That's what it's supposed to be there for. You know, it's not just for the I'm fucked basically. Now I need therapy.
Basically, don't go when you're that.
Yeah, that
you don't actually vent.
Just have that conversation.
That's actually what when I hurt my ankle.
And we all laugh.
I went to a physiotherapist, man.
That'll be bad.
And he even told me, like, he gave me like a couple of inside tips and whatever. And he said, physiotherapy, you don't have to be injured to come here, man. Every normal person can do this, like, at least twice a year. Get their muscles stretched out. Get like an assessment.
No, 100%.
So I mean, 100%.
It's like gymming, bro. It's like you don't just have to go to gym when you're fat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to make your body better, you go to gym. If you want to make your mind better, think better, you can go to therapy. You know, it's there. It's there to help, but the stigma that society it's heavy. It's because these conversations don't happen often. You know, all the examples there are movies and the macho guy, the Rambo, that type of thing.
Also, like what the movies portray is that literally a classic example is Arthur Fleck. He has to see a therapist, like, and look at where he is in terms of, and then like, okay, now I need to see a therapist. So now, obviously, who doesn't want to go see a therapist? It's like you, Arthur Fleck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's literally how the movies also portray it. So we can talk about the movies, say, and it's supposed to be macho, but also the solution, they also steer us away from it.
Yeah, of course.
They do.
You know, it's an interesting point you brought up there with like movies and those macho characters, because obviously the 80s and the 90s had a large amount of those characters.
Even
going back, you think of like Clint Eastwood maybe.
Rob Van Dam.
Walker Texas.
Rob Van Dam.
Sorry. Don't want to laugh at.
Sorry to the WWE fans.
She was.
Okay,
But they look similar.
They were like brothers.
I thought they were actually.
Nah, man, we're steering off topic. Let's get back here. So Clint Eastwood, I was saying, there was always that character trope, the strong, silent type.
Yeah.
And I know, for some reason, men just love the strong, silent type. I don't know why.
That's conditioning, man.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's the strong, silent type. And because of those characters, we growing up, you've seen these guys who hold everything in. And then when they go out to do practice, they're these warriors.
Yeah.
They know these incredible characters.
It's the girl at the end.
He gets the girl, helps to retouch these emotions and shit like that. Eventually, face his past.
So she's a therapist, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
even King Kong was like that, huh?
literally.
King Kong is a gorilla. Oh, but you're right.
And
the damsel in distress.
And the trait King Kong was like this. He was like the alpha of the jungle. He was
basically.
But he was also like.
He was lonely.
Yes.
He was a lonely motherfucker, bro.
And I mean, ultimately, that's sort of boils down to loneliness because you feel like you must provide or else you're useless. You know?
And that's what he did. He tried to provide.
Man saw Naomi once. He was like, "Hey, let's go.
Well, who wouldn't
be my friend?"
And I mean, I don't think society today helps either. Like they clown on men, you know. They try to be, they all try to seem woke and inviting, but whenever it happens or mental breakdown of a man happens, it's seen as a joke or a meme. And they're literally hanging out there. We have so many examples. We have Will Smith, Tyrese, all of them.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it
like the video they posted.
He posted, you said he a lot of his videos he was saying. Yeah.
It's interesting, I've never seen one video of Rick.
It's not in your algorithm.
Yeah, that's true.
That is just conspiracy.
It's not in my algorithm. I was shocked when I saw that
he's backing politicians. He's backing politicians.
And I mean, like it's very contradicting, man. Or how can I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Double standards. It's double standards. So what would happen to a woman?
Oh, definitely.
Wouldn't be seen as the same thing for men.
Yeah.
Like look what Jade is doing to Will.
Yeah, it's crazy because it actually took I don't want to say us, but people in general a while to actually click.
No, it took a very long time.
And to say, actually, hold on, man. This not only is it not funny, but this guy is actually being abused.
Yeah, it's toxic.
If you look at it on the face of it,
yes,
obviously we don't know what happens when behind closed doors, but on the face of it, like the things that she does, that's literally abuse.
Yeah, so if it was a man, you would have been hearing those shouts already.
From the first
abuse.
Imagine the guy
what's a cult like
he was cheating on his wife.
Yeah, it happened with that guy from Outsurance. They made a video and that's his girlfriend. I mean, it's only his girlfriend.
And it took like
one. It went viral. This man lost his career and all. He went to court, everything. Jade is being celebrated with the future and being put up there. You know, even Amber Heard, they tried to cancel Johnny Depp. They did cancel him. He lost his role in Grindel and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the footage came out. She was burning him with cigarettes. She was cutting his finger, all of that.
And she's still
got a job.
Aquaman. You know, and society, the tablets went crazy. You abused or whatever. As soon as
they flip the switch.
No, there was no retraction.
So what man is gonna open up now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Especially like someone who's in the limelight.
Exactly. Like he should have more power. Like people accepting him. Is the average Joe gonna now feel comfortable? Nah, I don't think so.
The one point I wanted to bring up now, you spoke about men obviously opening up. Women tend to obviously encourage men to open up and speak about their feelings, but I feel like the moment men they make the attempt, I think women get scared as well. The woman runs away because it's almost like they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because their insecurities, the stuff that they are able to help, like with their friends maybe, they can't necessarily give that same advice to a man now.
Yeah.
Because they're unequipped to deal with the situation.
100%.
And that's when they get scared, and that's when they run away, and that's when they're like, oh shit, I don't know what to actually fucking say to you. This is weird. And they start saying things like that or whatever, and like, why are you angry about that? Or why are you scared about that? Or fearful.
And that, like you're saying, they does also obviously make us fearful of.
Yeah, you know, that gets to the point where, because they would say, like, you can just open up and tell me. That's exactly what he's saying. You can't. It's not going to work. Just telling me to open up and let you in. So you can't deal with it.
She's not a therapist.
Yeah, it needs. Sometimes I feel like it also needs to happen between the boys. You know, the boys' talk needs to get to that level.
That's what I was saying.
That's true. Because we would know how we feel. You know.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I.
Thankfully, I can say that a number of circles I can actually have this talk with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't say the same for the generation before us.
I know that.
And the problem with that is
because they didn't speak, a lot of that was passed down to us. You know, a lot of baggage that they kept in their fathers and their fathers.
And the way of doing things.
Their way of doing things, you know, some toxic masculinity came down and it comes down and it comes down. At least we can somewhat break the wheel.
We're breaking the wheel.
We're trying to break the wheel.
Are we trying?
What's the latest quote? What's the quote?
I will break the wheel.
Oh,
Break the wheel.
I also feel like the boys will be boys term that everybody hates. Everybody doesn't want them to be saying the boys will be boys when they're catching on shit, when they're doing that. But society portrays that by saying that men are like this and men do that, that's where the boys will be boys narrative comes from. Look, men, there are men that are trash, right?
Oh yeah.
And females, by the way.
Yeah, they are. Even,
no.
Every human being can be trash.
Yes.
Right? In their own right.
But it's a cultural trope to say men are trash.
Look, they have every right to say that.
They do.
We're not going
Fair
down
enough. Let's not go down the road. But
they have every right to say that. But what I'm saying is, sometimes instead of ridiculing, you're looking at the outcome. Try and find out the influence. Try and see why. Try and stop with not just accident. You know, it can't just be accidents and it won't just be stopped at a point. You need to build it out of someone. You need to get it out of them. See what is the root cause of the problem. And I feel like it could be society and men and how they can't deal with their feelings, how they broken inside, and everything comes out and they act irrationally, and that's how it goes. That's how we get the boys will be boys.
Yeah, it's the conditioning as well.
That's 100% the conditioning.
Doctor's Advocate. Doctor's Advocate. That's the album, gee, that's the game. Devil's Advocate, my bad. Devil's Advocate time. Here's my moment. Here's my moment.
Say red shades, don't wanna know. Feel about it.
What the fuck was I going to say? Oh yeah. So, obviously, topic man up. That's the name title of the episode as well, and it's a big term because I feel as greatly as it can negatively impact you, I also, and this is something I personally value that term as well because it can be used in a positive way.
Yeah.
We know the world around us.
Yeah.
That's a troubling place.
Yeah.
There's gonna be days when you've been shoved down, you've been pushed down, you're feeling the pressures, you're feeling the stress, everything's coming up against you, and you're like, shit, what do I do here? And it's easy to say fuck everyone or fuck this and run away. It's very easy to say that, and we've seen so many people do that before. I feel like that term man up can be used in a positive way when you basically say, hey, bro, look, I know the world stuff, I know shit's rough out here, but now we step up.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
Now we level up.
It can be inspiring.
It can.
100%.
I think I always think of like a Dragon Ball Z analogy in here. When shit's being tough, when Goku was battling all those motherfuckers, they're like, bro, what do I do here? Gohan is coming up against Cell. What do you do? Nope, I gotta go Super Saiyan 2 on these motherfuckers. That's what you gotta do. And I feel, obviously, there's that mad, like we said, there's a negative aspect of man up, avoiding feelings or not speaking about it. But when you speak about it and you're open and you've been thorough about it, you can find strength.
But I think, don't you think then maybe we need to rephrase it, because I still have issue with the phrase man up in the sense that we all have to be honest here. We all know very strong mothers and women.
Yes.
And can we not say that they've manned up to life?
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So maybe we should rephrase it like entirely and not say man up, and maybe just find something else to describe it as, because now it's almost like only men have this.
But that's society that's done that.
Nah, I know, but I get that. I'm not blaming him. I'm just speaking to like his point to say that instead of saying man up can be spun positively, why not just look at the trait itself of sort of like having a survival instinct or
strength or something.
Should we say level up then, like the CS?
I think level up is much better than man up. I think maybe we can change it from man up to level up.
We solved it.
I honestly think man up sounds better. I'm just gonna say that.
Look, but it's very
toxic masculinity.
Man up. But I agree with your point though. It can be inspiring.
Clint Eastwood saying.
No, of course. I think we shouldn't make the mistake of attributing agenda or sex to it.
And we shouldn't use it as an excuse to avoid. what's really wrong with us. So, that's the problem.
I think I agree, but I disagree with you though. Just on the sense that when I'm talking to my son and I say man up, to me I know what that means.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm passing, knowing my past generations and that toxic. Saying, I'm not saying, I love you, I'm proud of you, but then not getting that, I'm gonna realize what type of father I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? And not just being the man. And I feel that as soon as people say, oh, boys will be boys, that's just people that don't understand that there needs to be a space for boys to be boys and a safe space for that. And for me to say to my friend, nah, man up, knowing that's a safe space and he knows what I mean and not allowing other toxic people to come in and take that away from us, knowing that there are times where I just want to go barefoot, bare chest in the woods and chop some shit up. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because that's what I need. It's not. And now I can't take anything away from women because they've had that. They have boss lady, super mom this, mom that. Do you know what I mean? Hey? But they got it. Do you know what I mean? And no one is putting it to small. No one's putting it in a box. No one's taking it away. Whereas now I'm telling my boys like, hey, man up.
Yeah.
And now you want to tell me, oh, I can't put it on a gender. That's again then putting me manning up. And I can't be.
Yeah.
I can't go in that beast mode that I know is there because I'm now scared. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm scared, am I going to tap? Or being a man is gentle, is loving, is strength, is a warrior, is loving, is, you know what I mean? It's all of that things that I need to learn how to control.
But
do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry. So, I just think there must be a space for each one of it. And as men, we need to, do you know what I mean? And as men, we need to figure out when that time is for each. Sorry,
he's making a good point because I don't know if you remember, probably last week we actually touched on the fact that this modern woke or liberal society is sort of trying to emasculate men. So he's actually making a good point by saying, we can hold on to it as long as we understand what we're holding on to instead of just giving away with it.
That I understand.
I get it.
That I understand.
It's like
you know what you are, you know you're caring, you know you love.
Yes.
But my problem with that is it's always about someone else, it's never about yourself.
Yes.
You know you care for your family, you know you're loving, you protect your family, but what about you?
Yeah.
So it kind of overshadows you man up for the rest of the world, but what about yourself?
That's where that comment, I'm going to the woods and I'm going to chop some shit because that's for me. Like for some men, it's grabbing a beer and sitting in a room. For other men, it's taking a walk.
It's a controller and a fucking PlayStation.
You know what I mean? Summer's gym. You know what I mean? So I feel, men need to figure that out. And once we figure that out, we can allow the rest of society to know that this is me sorting me out.
I like the fact you said that, we need to find that. This is the topic I love talking about. This is everywhere. I remember chatting to a good friend of mine. We were talking about hobbies and activities that we did, like back when we were kids and obviously teenagers, and obviously moving into our 20s and our adult life. And he was telling me that he let go of a shit ton of all those hobbies and those activities because it wasn't cool. Or because it wasn't cool in the eyes of women, should I say. For example, I'm going to bring it back to wrestling over here. And this guy, he stopped watching WWE and he was a big fan. And because he let go of it because the girl that he was at the time said it was stupid. Obviously scripted, fake, whatever, dumb. And they broke up and he got into a bad space. What did he do after that? He started watching wrestling again. Now the man he's like incredible now. Bruh, he's loving it. And when he told me that, I was like, bruh, that is the most beautiful thing you could have possibly told me. Because you found something that makes you happy, man. You found something that you can just take your mind away from the stress of the world and just enjoy, be entertained and be
like the point you're making. There is that one thing as a man.
We all have that.
Will be your escape 100%. That is. I also want to say is the clout does not help. The woman, whenever something happens, and it's only on the day when something happens, maybe a famous person committed suicide, a man or whatever, then there's a lot of these people that come out and say, "Oh, you must be kind to our men, making videos, speak to us." You make it worse because it's only for that day. The very next day, a normal conversation is frowned upon. Normal. So you know that the negative effect that's even worse. You know, by saying we are for you, you're making it worse because you're not really there. It was just for that clout moment, and I feel that's a big problem because you hear nothing. Right now, it's silent. If there's someone supposed to kill himself, a man maybe tomorrow, it's going to flood your timeline. We care. What are we doing to our men? And then nothing again. And it only aids the problem.
So that begs the question now. Do we need to rely on women for validation to help us as men move forward?
We need to move forward.
Do we as men, as individuals, need to learn to move forward and not look for the validation for people who aren't equipped to give us
we need to man up with each other and have those conversations and have those moments.
Well, absolutely.
That's what needs to happen. That's why man up and have those conversations.
I'm just saying, like, that's probably why a lot of people avoid it.
Yeah, and it takes your circle as well, like you were saying. That really does take your circle and your influences.
Because I was going to say that earlier when you were talking about, like, for instance, how when you grow up, you can't really and I was going to say that a lot of, when you were starting out the conversation, you were talking about all the stats. I was going to say, for instance, if you had to look at South Africa, where a lot of people are in poorer neighborhoods where like the environment is rough. And out on the streets, everyone looks out for themselves. Already that's a breeding ground for people who are going to grow up and literally just be toxic.
I forgot that one of the stats is that 77% of all suicides is from lower income to middle income.
Of course.
Because they can't afford the right care.
But now also they're not gonna make themselves more vulnerable in that dog world.
And in that environment, or in the world, no offense, I'm just saying this is the stigma, who's seen as the breadwinner? The man.
Right?
Who needs to provide
on the bacon.
So if it's low to middle income, it's gonna fall on the man's shoulders. So that's what the man would feel like. It's his problem, it's his issue. I think Chris Rock said it.
Yeah, the man is only loved on the condition he provides something.
I was gonna say Chris Rock said, I want the big piece of chicken.
Yes, because you were saying now you get everything. You get like everything for a woman. What does the guy get? A big piece of chicken.
That's all the meat gets, bro. Just a big piece of chicken.
No, and he's right. Like in terms of that's all you get in terms of portion at dinner. Like, oh great, you put on the bacon, piece and that's it.
You know, back on what I was saying about men finding they go to. I've noticed on TikTok there's like a bit of a renaissance. I like it about guys going to gym. Like there's a shit ton of videos on TikTok of guys gymming.
Look, I've saved a few. That's a couple of those.
It's in the favorites and saved all of it. There's a shit ton of that, and they're talking about things like bettering yourselves, whatever, and letting go of the need to find the attention of particular women or women who broke your heart or whatever, and just go out there and be a better you and stop worrying about the distractions of all these things. Just go out there. If you need to study, go study. If you need to gym, you need to go gym, go do it. Just focus on what you're doing right now. And when I see this shit, I get happy, man. Because there's a lot of these guys doing it. Or like, you look at if you go on their profiles or whatever, they're all like, 19, 20, 21, 22. They're all young guys, they're 20s.
And very cheesy, very inspirational.
Corny and cheesy, but it's good.
That's what we need.
Because first of all, they're training hard. It's motivating them. And they look secure. They look stable. They look solid. And they look like they're able to go forth into the world and go beast mode or actually man up when the opportunity arises. So when I see this shit, I'm like, nah, that's brilliant. I fucking love that shit. Owen's really going out there and doing some hard work. It's a nice thing to see, especially in the gym. I like training. I'm a big gym guy. Absolutely. Absolutely. When I see Owen's doing squats, deadlifts, I'm like, nah, go guys, get your shit done.
Speaking about TikTok, I saw this other video.
TikTok?
No, man, I wasn't on TikTok.
Oof.
Not to speak down on the app, but so he posted this video where there's a girl who's doing you've probably seen her, maybe you haven't.
The one that peed.
No.
No.
we're not here to
Recycle
that. There's a video of this girl. She's taking a video of herself, probably for Instagram or Twitter, whatever, and she's doing like those squats. I think it's assisted squats, something where you're standing. But anyway, she's using a machine.
Oh, the Smith machine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smith machine. Yeah.
And then a man asked her how long she's gonna be, like how many reps she's got.
I saw this video.
You see, and she tried to post that, but then someone took that and they like she shouldn't be doing that. There's nothing wrong with asking.
Yeah.
No, he just asked.
I know you're talking about this.
I was like, yo, like please, because she's now gonna humiliate him and other guys.
She can ruin
gonna think like they can't talk to somebody who's a female in the gym.
That's a fine line though. You can't also.
No, bruh.
Blame them. But I mean, that context,
that's
there's nothing wrong.
In the video, all he's doing, he's going up and asking her how many sets you still have left.
Also, obviously,
she took it in the way like, brah, leave me alone. I want to talk to you. He's like, I'm just asking.
Look at this creep guy.
Yeah, look at this creep.
Yeah.
Because I'm a foot influencer.
Yeah,
that's
don't
bullshit.
use your gym. That's not
Yeah.
your machine. Else you would have been at home with your own machine.
Yeah. So things like that, it's like again, it's again society where it's like men literally have to tiptoe around everything.
Yeah.
You know what the mad thing is? If you do speak about how you feel, chicks take some chicks take offense like, look at them now, they're looking out to milk it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then you ostracize now for speaking.
Yeah, it's almost like you're trying to take something away from their suffering to bring up yours.
No, yeah.
I'm
Evoking emotions.
Yeah. Like it's a play, like you just acting.
So like all of us, like, because we are, in most cases,
all of a sudden we're doing this shit.
Now all of a sudden we are now in touch with our feelings. We are depressed. I've seen that. It's like, what the fuck?
That's why most of.
So do you want us to speak out or say nothing? You know,
just don't speak to them.
Yeah, just do nothing.
Just don't fucking speak to them. Like, Jesus.
Now who are you talking to?
the presser! The presser!
boys.
We talk to the boys! Because you also want to tell other boys, speak to someone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
speak, just get it out.
Get that shit out.
Get that group
Yeah,
going.
because I mean, you'll see, like majority of women get diagnosed with depression. Men just kill themselves. That shows you that they don't go as far as to ever speaking to someone, you know, or ever getting it out. They just feel like that's the last straw. But as women, they fine with speaking, taking that steps, even seeing a doctor. Yeah, that's.
When speaking of that now, being diagnosed with depression, when I went to the doc 2 years ago, and we were chatting about it, and we were talking about serotonin levels, and he said that he told me something that was actually super interesting. He said that men naturally, their serotonin levels decrease as they get older. And now when I thought about it, I'm like, wait. This is starting to, there's a puzzle piece going on here. And I was thinking, you always have that trope now of the elderly male, he's miserable, he just wants to sit and watch a game and drink a beer. He's fucked up, whatever. And I was thinking to myself, bruh, is that why? That so many men in like their late 50s, 60s, approaching 70s have that like miserable side to them.
Yeah,
it's not because they are shitty people. They're not. They're probably very good people at heart. But because there's that chemical imbalance now, we don't have enough serotonin to actually be happy and smile with grandkids or children or with whoever around us. And I was like, shit, that blew me away.
You know, it's a good show to watch for the viewers out there as well, to help with this. If he's a family, Bulba. This is what he deals with. This is what he deals with. You can basically see yourself in him dealing with his feelings and how he acts and how he never sees it, and he deals with his father, and it's very good. That's
how he deals with his kids.
I love it for that. That is why it's that good.
Where is it?
Netflix, if it's a family, amazing.
It's an animation, but it's like an adult animation. He had like aspiration to become a pilot, army pilot, and then he's obviously married his chick pregnant, and I think he's married.
So
he just became this middle-aged guy, this normal father, like a whole family.
But
he was just
a statistic in the system.
Bro, but it's smart.
But he's angry all the time, and he doesn't know why, and it's brilliant.
Sounds painful.
That's good to watch. I did tell you about it.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Okay, because it's ball, yeah.
Sam Rockwell's neighbor.
Nah, I'm watching. Love Sam Rockwell.
What's his name?
Look, I forgot.
The party guy.
Oh, the cocaine guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we end this topic, I just think we should give some advice or a contact out there for the SA Depression and Anxiety group. We will bring it up. The number is 0800 12 13 14. We will bring it up so you guys can see.
So it's toll free.
Yeah, it's toll free. Just so we can help
Really
them.
easy now to remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
12,
14.
Yeah.
Remember that
brilliant.
adverts
But a good ring to it.
It's love. That's why you're single right now.
It was a lovely ring to it.
But I feel like we didn't get to do our Ukraine segment. Are we just gonna end it up do a bit of Ukraine?
But look, you know why it's so hard to speak about Ukraine? Because I was telling slavers.
Slave.
Before people like
Slaves.
when we got here, that if you put on the news now, any news channel, Sky News, anything, you only see one side. You only see Ukraine. That's all. And it's like, oh, cool. But what about the other side, man? Like what I'm seeing now is Ukraine's absolutely winning this war.
All the time.
Destroying Russia.
All the time.
Not a single.
They even banned Russia TV.
Like nothing's bad happening to them. Like you know what I'm saying. And all you're seeing is like bad side of what Russia is doing.
Yeah.
They're bombing hospitals and bad that is fake. But they're just showing the bad things, like innocents are dying. Like in my household, fucking Russia's the most evil people ever. But like how though?
Why though?
How can you say
You
that?
know?
Like have you not seen? You haven't even seen like of their side of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't even see it. That's shocking. And I mean
It's
like
shocking,
and I mean
but
like
in 2022 we accept that DSTV can just come and ban a channel.
we don't want to accept
and they
it.
did it with Zuma as well, where they and the Guptas where they banned that ANC.
Oh yeah, and the Sahara and everything.
Yeah, like it's crazy that we accept these sort of things in this day and age where what we always preach to ourselves that we'll never allow times to be like.
But
That's
but there's power in masses only. You know, you as an individual we can only just talk about it on here. You know, so it's not inherently accepting. It's
I was
just
reading this novel that was based on like the First World War I and World War II and the Cold War, of how the Allies, or Germany at the time, and then the Soviets at the time, used propaganda, man, to win their own people's opinion. Like, they only saw good news. They
the
never saw
machine.
anything
No, that's
bad.
what
The machine.
They never saw anything bad, like their army losing the war, losing a battle, or anything like that. So the people in the country thought that they were winning, when in fact they weren't, man.
Yeah.
And obviously the enemies are also only seeing good news. So how are we believing what's on the news today, man?
and I mean, how are people not questioning Israel and
That's
Palestine?
the biggest thing for me. I'm always baffled. Like, how can someone walk around and just accept what they get on Sky or
on the
CNN
news,
or
bro.
whatever?
We
It's
live in the
crazy.
information era.
Yeah, and if you
And you basically just give
but
me
the
the stuff
thing
like
is,
you must believe it.
the thing is, if you don't, you call controversial.
Yeah, nah,
That's
the
the
new lunatic.
But
Yeah.
you just have to track back and say what all the sort of things they call controversial. Like a classic example.
It's way too much effort for a normal
A
person.
classic example is just go 3 years back. 3 years back it was controversial to say that the vaccine wouldn't stop infection.
You
That
still
was
can't say
controversial.
these things, but now you can't say the
you
next
can.
thing.
They openly admitted now. No, it's about hospitals. And
Yeah, so
of
that-
course you get it.
So that's the point I'm making. If you're going to speak out on Ukraine now or whatever, or say something, you're going to be controversial for now.
Yeah,
When
that's
it blows
what I mean.
over, it's okay.
So can't people
Speak,
keep
man.
track of those things that
And then
keep
there's no
happening?
judge you're going to say, look, they dealt with the problem there by
Yeah.
making it controversial. So they shut you down. And I mean, this narrative, it's been going on for how long now? This war is still going
It
on.
started
They
in
still
March.
want to tell you every YouTube video, Russia made a mistake, the sanctions are going to down.
Yeah.
Like,
But
It's
and
basically
also
so
they're
like-
trying to make the public hate Russia, man, by saying because of the controversy, petrol is going to be expensive.
Yeah.
and what
That's
I
gonna
love
happen.
about
That's gonna happen.
what Putin is doing, he didn't say I love him. What I love about what
Is
he's
it
doing.
love about yeah?
Just so you know.
make a mountain go.
About. What I love about what he's doing is he's outing them as well for their atrocities. Yemen, Iraq, Palestine, he's going, for full blown,
You know-
go at them.
you know
Gaddafi, everyone.
He even went as far back to say that California.
Yeah.
And California was part of Mexico, and so was Texas.
Mm.
Back in the 1840s.
That's most why
Americans killed
the war.
the Mexicans.
I mean, they even call Indian people
and they killed
Native Americans.
Mexicans to take Texas.
No,
They killed so aggressively.
They are Native Americans.
They are all the Americans.
They are.
That's what I'm saying.
Texas.
That's what I'm saying.
El Paso?
Yeah.
Texas?
It's a massive place.
They mass murdered a culture
They literally
and called
did
them Native Americans. They
No, they
are
called them
the
Indians.
Americans, bro. That's
Well,
their
the
land.
Indians,
Yeah.
The fact that they still staying on the reservation is hectic.
It is, bruh. They literally still fighting
Literally, eh?
oil riggers, bruh.
Reservations,
People that want to dig for oil on the reservations. They're
But
still
they're
fighting for all those things.
Yeah, but they're not called oligarchs.
But
Because they're from the West.
That's
From the West.
Hey.
Now look, as you were saying,
Apartheid billionaires are labeled geniuses around the world. Russians are oligarchs. Don't get him started.
Get him started. Get him
I
started.
was saying you were right that it's difficult to talk about Ukraine because there's so much misinformation. Like
yeah, I don't know.
anything you say,
Misinformation
people
is
get
the
us
name of the
confused
game.
and say, "But can't you see people are dying?" And they do the same thing under COVID-19.
Don't you feel like it's an overload of misinformation now? Like they're pumping it.
But that's my point.
You
like,
know
how
why?
can people not
What
see
my
it?
theory or
Yeah.
why I think they didn't foresee that information would rule the world or would be free. Back in the day when it was Einstein and everyone, it was electricity and light and all of that. That was the way forward. Then the information age came. That's why a lot of us can think like this because back then the misinformation wasn't flooded because they didn't catch up yet.
Yeah.
Now they caught up. Now they know what the problem is. It's free information, and now they found the information, buddy.
It's like it's bad. You don't wake up in the morning, go, what the
Yeah, so it's like Denzel said. Denzel said that if you read the news, you're misinformed. If you don't read it, then you're uninformed.
Yeah.
And this is also why I like TikTok because it's Chinese kind of owned.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. But it's because on TikTok you can literally see Ukraine's and Russia's posts.
Yeah, you do see.
So instead of going to Twitter or the news forum, you just go onto TikTok, type in Russia, and you'll see Russians posts.
Yeah,
and what's actually happening.
Like you see
unfiltered,
like I've seen
unedited.
that,
You know what I mean? So, but
There's a
it
chick
won't.
from Ukraine.
Sorry, it won't come on your For You page.
Yeah,
it won't.
your
You
algorithm.
need to do a dig dive, and that's
On the page. Oh shit.
and that's why they pump in the one side story because they realize information is free.
Yeah.
So the more we
Yeah.
put what we want to see,
Yeah.
the more difficult is it. You know?
Yeah, so
Because
so you're basically not going to search that far.
we're not going to search that for.
general
You know what I
person.
mean?
But that's why we can have. That's the point.
That's why
So
all
now
your
they're catching
ads,
up and-
all your For You pages just is what we want you to see.
That's why you'll
because
see
it's
the
the
same repetitive thing.
Because the normal human being is too lazy to go on Google
I've seen
pages.
something-
You know what I mean?
They make sure you know it's
Gotta go
there.
there.
But
Yeah.
I've seen something.
Like a shit, bro.
I've seen a thing of a Ukrainian lady where she actually posted on TikTok saying like, look, it wasn't that great before this.
Yeah.
Like the country was the shit. This
Yeah.
was happening. Now
That's
she
true.
exposed
That's
it. I saw that video.
Years ago, everyone cared about BLM and George Floyd.
But did they
And
really care?
that's my point.
That you see
Now we're
because-
seeing that Ukrainians and they actually have Nazis in their
yeah, but that's
armies,
because BLM it's turning into like a market
I was
state.
thinking like
You know, it's almost like a tick you get on your company if you act like you support.
Also
Financial
money laundering.
status.
Like a little body
Also
bag.
money laundering.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly
no,
right.
it's come out. It has come out.
No, that's come out, sorry.
Like the
Only
money, the
now.
donations that they've been getting and shit.
But I
that's
mean, it
being
was so
loaded.
obvious, but like, you get the organization and everyone's donating to it, all the rich people. We care about black people, so we're gonna give BLM a lot of money.
When you can
instead of
just go out
building
there and
their
help
houses.
black people.
I mean,
But the rich people are given it because it's tax in the
but that's
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
and it helps them. It helps them. It helps the brand. It shows that they are. It helps the brand. It's like there's this thing with
It's a beautiful circle.
Yeah,
That is.
Then you get Nike making these ads with Ajabi woman and black woman. You
It's so
know,
obvious why they
it's a brand. It's helping the brand. Now we support Premier League. Put the armbands kneeling. We support. It helps the brand. Now it's about the brand.
Look,
Because I mean, if you actually support, you would do something about it. Not
that's
just
the
say
biggest-
you're
that's
doing
the-
something
That's the
about
most glaring thing of it.
Yeah.
They do nothing about racism. It's just now Koulibaly. I don't know if you saw where.
Yes, oh, come on, it's Italy.
No, that's not-
And
How long
Koulibaly,
have
get
we
out
been
of
kneeling?
Italy, bro.
What happened?
How long have he was racially abused again now on the weekend? But how long have we been kneeling
Yeah.
How long have you been kneeling?
That's why when Jonathan Isaac in the NBA and Wilfred Zaha said that they want to kneel anymore because what?
I understood why.
I
also understood why.
People were
I
like,
also understood why.
look at this fucking
Like Ronaldo is an example.
Wait, here's a question though.
Okay, go for it.
Do they kneel in Italy and Spain?
No.
No, they
They
don't.
openly
That's not
show
so.
that.
you know what?
But also the Premier League, they also like the
watch.
devil that I would say you don't know.
The fucks.
Yes, because they always jump on all the social issues
Exactly.
and
The
they
fucks
beam them
deceitful.
out like we
You must be aware of that.
So that's why they're the best league in the world.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It is.
Just but that helps the brand.
I had no idea that they don't even.
They don't.
Yeah, when
They don't
they
deal
don't
against the
do it.
English team.
When Liverpool played Atletico Madrid, when they played
They even said they don't.
Liverpool took the knee.
What did the commentator say?
They all stood up.
They don't
And
feel the
fans
need.
booed
Yeah,
them
something
for it.
like that. Yeah.
No, but I remember still when Moise Keane got abused. That when he was playing for Juventus. So Bonucci and Chiellini said because
That
obviously
he mustn't.
he got upset when they were abusing him. And then they said that he needs to show like he's better and that he needs to be strong. I'm like, that's nice.
Why?
They did the same with Lukaku.
18-year-old.
They did the same with Lukaku when he was
He's
a
captain,
kid.
you're older. Like,
No,
you know
but
what
what
I'm saying?
Lukaku abuse, I think when you're doing well, they don't. You're okay with you.
I think now that if I'm not okay,
You're away
my
fans.
brother's a big
Oh,
Inter
yeah.
Milan fan, so that's why I know about this. He said something that there was an incident when he was racially abused, but they did it to get underneath his skin to obviously make him play shit.
Obviously make
The
him play,
fans said that they did that. They're not doing it because they're racist.
Wow.
You remember that
What's
incident
going on
between him and Zlatan? I just felt that Zlatan
Which
had
one?
some- when the two of them came like
I
chest to
don't-
chest
I
in the
don't-
final last year.
And then Pogba was said, don't joke with that one.
And so then but it was like serious though, man. Lukaku went Bosman. I could just see the look on Zlatan's face. He wanted to say something racist. I know it. Just has that look, man.
And Pogba was
But then you know that
You know
because they mind
like, you know,
boy.
like you know that boy, that boy flowing over that corner when you're.
That's one reason why I don't support the biggest
dance
sorry.
boy. It's like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah, no lies, Rasmus. Thank you, my boy.
Oh, I hate that. Don't say that because
Don't because you like him and he's our coach and he won.
For the beer boy.
He said it. That's a grown ass man that he says.
Oh, that's
He said,
why
pour me some wine, boy. Thank you, my boy.
You remember, I was like,
That's a grown ass man.
Okay. Devil's advocate here.
It's a grown ass man.
Sometimes people just have that in their lingo. When they say my boy.
Maybe it can, but I don't wanna see.
He is an
older.
elderly man.
I don't wanna see him
It just looks wrong, man. You're a helper.
Because he's using it to a black guy.
I
He's
know
using it
it's
to a
alpha.
black guy.
Yes.
So we thought it was like,
And he's a helper. Like, I mean, it's.
but look, it's rightly deleted because that same guy, Rasmus, would never say that to. For
But
instance,
like,
say he had a white gardener.
He's never gonna say my boy.
Never
Come
call
on.
him my boy.
His name is my boy,
I don't
Paul.
care. I do not care.
Find me a white
Never.
garden or find me a unicorn.
Well, look, they are.
They are unicorns.
They know now.
Unicorns.
That's the ball of the episode. That's the ball of the
That's
episode.
not a gardener. It's a landscape. Check here. You're speaking about free speech and TikTok and all that. Elon Musk bought Twitter.
That's why.
that's another
Thank you.
cause.
That's why I wanted to say.
It's another
Thank you that you
cause.
brought up TikTok. That's why I wanted to say. I completely forgot when you were speaking. I was like, I'm gonna get you.
I think he owns 9%.
No, but I mean,
9%.
I know what's
But
going
I mean,
on, man.
if they can get bought like that, you already see the censorship. On
Wait, give us context here.
They
What
did
did
it
you
by
I
like?
bought majority stake
Oh.
in Twitter.
9% is majority stake.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't allow you to have
Yeah.
more than 12. I think 12 is max of all time. But just because they're trying to keep it, But I mean, he's still bored, so he still has
Yeah,
a
no,
bit
no.
of say.
No, he does.
I mean,
yeah,
what does that
say?
do to your freedom of speech or your free speech act?
Yeah,
When you know
no.
he has agendas that he
Look, you have to be aware of what you're going into if you're gonna use the app because, like, it started descending a long time ago.
Mhm.
And then when they ousted Jack, then you're like, okay, nah.
Mhm.
Then this guy comes out of nowhere. Yeah, Jack no longer has like ownership.
Who the fuck is Jack?
Jack Ma.
Oh, Jack.
No man, the guy
No,
who-
Jack Ma
who
is
didn't
gone.
invent Twitter or something.
Oh, the creator.
Jack
yeah,
Ma.
yeah, they bought him out of Twitter. So obviously, when flipping what's his name? Tony Stark bought it now. And it was so
Because-
obvious what was going on.
Exactly.
Like,
So,
nah,
like-
look, we can see what's going on, but you just have to have that. in
But it's
the
not
back of your
news.
mind.
On the point where you were saying, man, so
Also,
Wait, is it? Here's my question now. Is it bad that he's buying a majority stake?
Okay, can I ask you something? Is it bad that Bill Gates buys a newspaper?
If we get in the good information,
but we're gonna get his information. That's the problem. That's the problem with these apps. That's why I'm saying when it's Chinese created or Chinese owned, it's kind of.
Then just to answer the question, is bad if Bill Gates
China free speech?
That's the point I'm getting.
That's the point. That's why on Chinese TikTok, on their For You page, it's all about inventing science, experiments. Whereas on the Western side of TikTok, For You page is dancing, wild. Because if you hate that side, you want to push them to be dumb. And on your side, you want to encourage the next generation to be scientists, to be
that's very strategic.
And China's this and China's that. On the TikTok For You page.
Very seen as taboo if you want your kids to be smart. Like
and that's Western
culture.
Not necessarily smart, but to go in that direction versus what the Western word is: entertainment, dancing, shaking your booty. That's trend in that.
But I mean, look at the opinions.
It's seen as communism.
I want to get to that.
Go.
So based on that, you said, but China, what do we know about them? All we know is what the West has shown and what they've seen. The same thing if I ask someone what is bad about communism. Communism, in principle, communism is a system that should work. They've shown us examples of it not working, but that was by dictatorships.
And also, it's also by US intervention in South America.
Yeah, they didn't want to
sabotage them. They put sanctions on them.
So now communism is seen as taboo. The Soviet Union taboo. The same thing with China now. We don't know much, but from what we've seen, we're like, China.
Yeah, but actually, there's the country. It's like I think. The poverty rate, they flipped it around like in such a short space of time when most people
look at the stats and stuff, they're doing well, but because they're doing well, I feel the West combats it with saying they are
the economy in the world now, I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so the only
I just don't like how cruel they are to animals, man.
And the West?
Look, but that's also subjective. I'm sorry, Wayne, that is also subjective. You know why?
Animals.
Bro, there's that festival.
The dogs.
No.
But you eat chicken.
Let me say something to you, Wayne.
You need to love all animals if you want to be like that.
Let me put this to you.
Yeah.
What do you think about hunting for sport? Do you think that's civilized?
I don't think so at all.
So now how can you say that we less cruel to animals than what the Chinese are? We literally pay money to go into the wild and shoot down wild.
Look, I've never done it.
That's not that rich.
In the West,
but I
wouldn't do that.
In the West, it's seen as a prominent activity. Only the elites, the prince and
but it's still subjective though.
Yeah, that's animal cruelty, like
all of it's animal cruelty at the end of the day.
Wait. There was that good thing. Yeah, I understand. Oh yeah.
I'm loving it. It's fine.
What's that? Culling. Sometimes I know in the wild life, when there's too many, when there's like an animal infestation, it happens.
But that's an excuse. I know.
Is it?
I think so.
There are gaming licenses that you get where not gaming, hunting licenses you can. So you
can just go out and it's not. You can't tell me there's too much deers in America.
Wherever we have them in South Africa, like
sometimes come here.
But it's the same thing like when Seaspiracy broke the internet for, but everybody suddenly cared about fish and dolphins but you're gonna go to the fisheries and
I didn't eat fish for 3 months after that.
And when you got back to it, you moved the whole
platter. You know what I was eating like. Here's the thing.
You made us a seafood pot the other day. What do you want about?
His favorite.
So basically, everything on this life has a very short lifespan, man. Mm-hmm. So everything will go extinct, and we will go extinct, and we have to start over again. So with that in mind, I eat the seafood. I like the seafood.
So then keep the same energy for China and all that.
The dogs.
I also love dogs.
That's my line on the door.
What's the billboard? Where do you draw the line? Or just over
there? That's how I draw the line.
We're going to bring a picture. That's legend.
Oh, yes, wait, we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't know what now.
Go for it.
In the episode, I'm going to say that now.
Go for it. Is it cancelable?
No, it's not. So what is it? I hate China, man. I hate China. I fucking hate China, man.
Here we go. Let's go, boys.
Every single time I see something about that woman, I was like, yo,
Fuck Jada.
She's some evil. She's some real life.
She's a villain, bro.
I can't believe what she's done. I promise you, like, I'm still shell-shocked. Like,
but what I like though is a lot of people starting to notice though, because even I'm getting sick of her now.
Yeah, what has she done?
I saw it like 2 years ago, where she was like, she's cheating on Will Smith. And
entanglement.
And then she told him that only she can give her permission for someone to blow her back out. And then, did you see the thing about the 40th birthday that he planned for 3 years?
Yeah, here's the thing. He said he planned after the 37th birthday. He went out of his way to plan like something very extravagant for the 40th. Like he got a band, got some stars there, like
found a family from.
And then apparently she was obviously maybe she was fake happy about it at the time, but she afterwards then told him that party wasn't for her. It was like a display of your
ego, and she didn't like it.
And then not just that. Like it was her, Willow, and the grandmother to like
all agree.
Yeah, like look at that as a man.
And she's chilling there like, my ego.
Yeah.
Like
on that point,
get out.
On that point, what disgusts me the most about the situation is that she turned his kids against him in the sense that they publicly saying they wish Tupac was their father.
What does this
that is for me, that's completely.
And I mean, they have a platform to do this on. They're bashing a man on a platform. And they're going about it as in, we're growing, this is growth, this is freedom of speech.
They tell me, and
I mean, we all saw she wasn't happy after the slap, right? After the joke, because he laughed at the joke and we saw her face. Then she comes out and says, she doesn't care about the boldness. It's boldness.
What is the
alopecia? She doesn't care about it, and he shouldn't have slapped, gone up there for. So now he's still fucked. Now it's another chance to bring him down.
And people say, why did Will Smith snap, bro? Imagine living in that house with that woman. You're gonna clap.
I wonder what is there more demanding community or what?
Will Smith saw Chris Rock and he's like, now
this is my chance.
This night I'm gonna smack.
Yeah.
And then he did that, and that's why he fucking was living in that bubble of
and then he broke down. He cried a couple of times.
Will Smith probably doesn't have any brasser he can talk to.
Yeah.
Talking to women the whole time.
Yeah. He has women being toxic to him. None of his brasser. Chris Rock making jokes.
And a terrible son.
Where's Martin? We need Martin to intervene.
That's the thing I can't stand with, brother. Whether his kids have just done a U-turn on him and saying they wish that someone else was their father.
Will Smith seems like a cool dad. I mean, he's fucking.
Even if there's something, even if there's something against how they were raised, you don't need to come out and make that a meme for the whole world now.
Yeah,
they know what they do because they're all in the entertainment industry, so they know if they're gonna go out and say something.
Yes,
it's out there.
I mean, that's why they have that red table cuck to do that cuck, and they just speak about their family.
The moment they start doing this on the table. When they talk like that, I put off.
Ooh, in the house.
When I start doing this, you said this.
I'm gonna watch the episode and I can irritate myself.
Bruh, don't want.
That episode where they had Snoop Dogg on because he had to say sorry
to Gayle King. Yeah,
I was like,
Snoop Dogg said not a fucking chance.
After Kobe died, Gayle King interviewed I don't know what's the name, a famous female basketball player, and they were talking about Kobe's legacy. And then every time the basketball players spoke about something great Kobe did, then Gayle King was like, oh no, but he also had the rape scandal. He did this, so he cheated, he had whatever, he was abusive. And they were like, yeah, we aren't talking about it, we're talking about what he did for so many other people, and you keep bringing that back up. And Snoop, who's a lifelong fan of his,
and a friend of Kobe.
And a friend of Kobe's, he got angry and he went in a rant on, I think it was Instagram, if I'm not sure. He said a whole bunch of shit about Gayle King and I was pissed off, and he said a few nasty things about her as well, let's be honest.
Nothing against the ball.
Yeah, and then Jada Pinkett got him on to say sorry. Snoop Dogg sat there with his specs on, crying,
saying sorry, but
and Jada Pinkett was saying, when you said that about her, you offended every black woman in this country.
And I was one question. We look at Hollywood, I'm not going to break it down into bits and pieces.
What?
Do white people do this to each other in their communities?
No, I'm not allowed in their communities, bro.
Do you see that with white people?
I don't see it.
No, that's what I was saying a couple of episodes ago. That you stole the pawns in the music and film industry. You stole the puppets in the house nigga for entertainment. You go and
actually, the last straw for me was what they did to Will Smith, because I'm sure nobody can say before this thing.
And
it was problematic.
do you want to know something even more crazy?
Ah.
His movies are on hold for the slap.
Exactly.
For the fucking slap.
Bruh. I just.
They gave what's Affleck's brother? He got an Oscar. He got an Oscar, bro. And he had sexual harassment cases. For Manchester by the cut.
Jared
He got an Oscar, man.
Wow,
bro.
I heard about these accusations, but
they knew it there while they were sitting there. And he got up and he got an Oscar, and Will Smith can't get movies now for a fucking slap.
That's why we clap someone on stage versus get some cut behind the scenes.
Nah. I don't agree with him.
Yo, maybe
bro. And he still has. You know, they only took back one Oscar before.
They haven't rescinded his Oscar.
And it was a mistake. It was based on they gave an Oscar to someone whose movie was for the next year, not for that current year.
So it wasn't even based.
So it wasn't even like.
But I mean, if they didn't take back Shakespeare in Love,
Woody Allen, motherfucker,
for saving Private Ryan, they'll never do it.
But you know what the mad thing is? Fuck it, no.
It is.
It's an angry conversation.
We don't see the whites no.
But it doesn't happen to them. That's
say.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, we've touched on it a lot. We've touched on it. But okay, boys, it's been great. It's a good conversation we had.
It's been beautiful.
I hope we can elaborate on this and keep it going. How people can take inspiration from this and speak to your boys, speak to your brasser, take it further. It's been great.
Find your hobbies, guys. Find your hobbies. Find that passion.
I just have one more thing to say. Magic in Madrid, comebacks on.
No.
Peace out.
Benzema.
Peace out.